Okay, we have our 15-minute body weight only Pilates. We're going to start seated right on the sits bones with the legs hip width apart. My knees and the ankles are in alignment, and I'm going to start with my hands behind the thighs. Take a nice deep breath. Feel like the crown of the head is lifting towards the ceiling as the front of the rib cage is simultaneously cinching down on in. And on the exhale, we're going to tilt that pelvis and start to roll back one vertebra at a time. And I feel that scoop in my lower belly. Inhale at the bottom of that scoop. Exhale, come up with that curve of the spine. And inhale back to that nice flat lengthened back with the rib cage cinched in. Exhale, we're coming down one vertebra at a time. My shoulders are down. I'm squeezing into the lats to keep the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, hold. Exhale, scoop. And lifting up. I'm not attached to how low you go. So what we want to make sure is that the work is in the front here, and it should feel like a nice stretch in the back. It shouldn't feel like the back is straining to do this. Exhale. Inhale, exhale, finding some nice rhythm with the breath. Inhale, exhale. And now we're going to kick it up a little bit of a notch. We're going to come down, and we're going to take one hand off, the other hand off, bring it back, and come back up. Exhale. Reach, back to the legs and up. Now if taking both hands off is too much, come down and just do one side and come up. Lower down and do the other. If it feels okay, you can do both, but it's totally fine to keep one hand on the legs each time. We'll do one more. Coming down. Sit up tall, bring the soles of the feet together, and just take a stretch forward for a moment. Good job. And then back to that seated position, feet hip width apart. We're going to come all the way down to the floor. See if you can come nice and slow and controlled using that core. Arms are going to lengthen. Take a second to really find that neutral spine. My tailbone is heavy on the floor. I'm thinking of the front of my rib cage cinching down and in. What I'm not doing is this. That's me tucking. We don't want to be tucked. There's a natural curve to my spine, and I'm allowing that to still be present while zipping up through the pelvic floor and pulling the rib cage down and in. Arms are going to be down by our side, slightly out to the side, and light pressure down to just kind of widen the collarbones and relax the upper body. We're going to float the right leg to tabletop and then the left, and you should already really feel that having to work down in the low belly to maintain. And we're going to do toe taps, one toe down at a time. Inhale as you hinge from the hip. Exhale to lift up. Inhale as you lower that right. And exhale, lift. I am not attached to how low you go. If you can touch the floor, great. If you're just going a few inches down and then pulling in, that's fine. What I don't want is for the pelvis to be rocking around at all. It's staying really still. The work is staying in the lower quadrant. You might very well feel up here because my rib cage and transverse abdominals are working hard to keep that rib cage down and cinched. But the majority of the work should be done here. Check in with your neck, look side to side, check in with your jaw, make sure you're not clenching the teeth. Inhale, exhale, lifting. Do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, last one. Very good. Bring your feet back down. Windshield wipe the legs side to side to just relax that lower back for a moment. And then we're going to come back to center. Again, get that feeling of the tailbone kind of lengthening, pushing down, this cinching in, and when you feel that connection, legs come back up to tabletop. Knees in alignment with hips, feet in alignment with knees. This is the one, this is subtle, pelvic floor, inner thigh. Inhale, you're dropping that left leg in this shape slightly to the left. Exhale, pull it back to center. Inhale, drop that right leg, and exhale, pull it back to center. And you're only dropping as far as you can drop the leg without tilting that pelvis at all. Don't let it rock side to side. Nice and controlled. Trying to really connect to our deepest, our pelvic floor muscles, our deepest muscles down there, which is the strong foundation we want for a healthy back and kind of the foundation for almost all movements. So a good place to start. Inhale. Exhale. Light pressure with the hands and the floor. If you starts to go into your lower back a little bit, take a break if you need to. Just bring the knees in, little rock side to side. Otherwise, keep going. Last 4. Last one. Beautiful. And please do hug those knees in. Little rock side to side to release the lower back. It feels nice to make little circles with the knees. Make sure you go in both directions. Beautiful. And then we're going to plant our feet hip width apart. And we're going to do some bridging now. What I want is so that as the pelvis comes up, your knees and ankles are in alignment. So if you need to adjust, feel free. If it feels like the feet are too close, bring them out a little bit. Just like we were doing at the beginning, where we were slowly lowering down one vertebra at a time, we're just going to peel the pelvis off. So again, I'm in my neutral spine, and I'm going to slightly lead with that tailbone as I start to come up one vertebra at a time and just to the top of the shoulder blades. Inhale, this is really cinched. I feel as much core as I do booty and hamstrings. Push down through the heel, push down through the big and baby toe, even weight distribution. Exhale, we're coming down one vertebra at a time, articulating. I feel a lot of core to really stamp each vertebra into the mat or the floor, whatever you're on. Inhale, exhale. Inhaling at the top, exhaling, lowering. Imagine you have a little ball between the thighs, so you're not letting the knees wobble out to the side, but they're also not knocking in, but there's a feeling of magnetism between those inner thighs, like they're kind of slightly pulling in towards each other. The legs should definitely start to feel like they're waking up at this point. Again, light pressure into the floor through the arms. Connecting to the breath. Should feel like your spine's getting a nice long lengthening in this position. Think of pulling the heels towards your body. Going down, 3 more. Last one. This one we're going to hold it up. So we're going to come up, hold, reach the arms up over the chest, palms face each other, and we're going to scissor the arms. So my right arm is going to go to my ear, my left arm is going to go to my hip, and then I'm going to switch. Switch on your breath. Don't let the rib cage flare open. Don't let the pelvis dip. Your booty should be talking to you. Last 5, 4. Shoulder blade pulls down the back as you reach back with the arm. Last 1. And we lower down. Beautiful. Now we're just going to open our legs wider, like as wide as your yoga mat if you're on a yoga mat. Otherwise, just make sure you're wider than hip width apart. And we're slightly turned out from the hips. So I'm open, my ankles are slightly turned out, but I want my knees in alignment with the second toe. Make sure you haven't overly turned out from the ankles. And same thing. We're going to inhale at the bottom, exhale. We're peeling up one vertebra at a time. I now feel this a little bit more on the outside of my glute, and exhale, lowering. Feel energy coming out through the crown of the head. Feel energy coming through the fingertips. Something I love about Pilates is there's a lot of oppositional force going on. The crown of the head is reaching back as my pelvis is reaching forward. Energy through out the knees. My feet are grounding down. Again, check in with your weight distribution between your big and baby toe. Notice if you're rolling to the inside or outside of the foot. There's my cat Jimbo meowing loudly. Inhaling at the top, exhale, lowering down. And we'll go for another 5. 4. 3. 2. The last one, again, we're going to hold this one at the top. It's coming up, hold it. Now arms are going to be over the chest, soften the elbows slightly, and we're going to do hug a tree. We're going to inhale, open the arms out, exhale to close. Again, you're not letting the rib cage open as the arms open. That should feel like a lot of core work to keep that really cinched in. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Try to find your happy place if it starts to burn. 2. Last 1. And arms lower, and we lower down. Beautiful. Again, hug it in. Little rock side to side. And from here, I'm going to have you come onto your side facing me. Feel free to have something under your neck if you want. I just like to rest it on my arm, but whatever feels comfortable. My shoulders and my hips are in a straight line, and then my knees are coming forward at a 90-degree angle. Think of trying to lift up through that bottom oblique, so we're still keeping that connection of feeling like a corset or a cinch in around the waist. I like to have my hand here to keep this shoulder part relaxed. Again, kind of think of this is our lat and our armpit. Feel like you're kind of squeezing something in that top armpit. On the exhale, keeping the shape of the top leg, we're going to lift it up into a hydrant. Inhale, lower it down. This should feel like the outer, we're working the glute medius, one of our little glute muscles on the side. Pelvis is not rocking back and forth, so feel like that pelvis is glued with a rod down into the floor, and you're not letting your torso rock back and forth at all. It's just staying nice and still. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it up. We're going to tap knee to knee and then go foot to foot. So internal rotation into external rotation, like a clam. Knee to knee, foot to foot. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold the clam, and we're just going to do a regular set of clams for 1, 2. Heels are glued together. 3, 4, starting to burn, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful. Keep the legs stacked and take a stretch in that opposite direction, a twist. It should feel like a nice stretch on the hip, a nice opener through the chest, looking towards that hand. Big deep breath. Feel free to give a bang, and we'll support ourselves to sit up and go to the other side. All right, so again, my head is resting on my bottom arm, thinking of my Pilates teacher always used to call it like a little mouse hole there. Legs are stacked, check to make sure you have your alignment, and we'll exhale, lift into that hydrant, and inhale, lower. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We hold it hip height and we go knee to knee, foot to foot. 2, 3, 4. This is staying still. 5, trying to keep a lot of space between that hip bone and your rib cage. 2 more sets. Heels stay glued together for a set of clams. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful. Keep the legs stacked, and we take a twist on this side. Deep breath. Give a little bang bang. We're going to come on to all fours. Hands are going to be right under the shoulders, knees right under the hips. Let's do a little cat-cow. Inhale, shoulder blades pull down. Dip the pelvis up towards the ceiling. Belly hangs, looking slightly up. Exhale, we round like a wave, scooping. Pull the belly button up towards the ceiling. Push the floor away. Look towards the legs. Inhale, let it wash over you. And exhale. Listen to your body. See where your back is that day. You know, don't force anything. Should feel good. Last one. We're going to exhale round. Push, push, push. And now come into a nice long neutral spine. So we're going to do opposite. I have to move because there's a chair there. We're going to do opposite arm and leg reaching. So my right arm is going to reach forward, but it's staying on the floor. My left leg is reaching back, staying on the floor. Imagine that the top of your pelvis is a table and you have a glass of water on there. If you dip too far to one side, the water's going to fall off. So keeping it lengthened and neutral, we're going to exhale. Lift the arm and leg together. Inhale to lower it down. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one for 10, and we're going to hold it up. Keep pushing the floor away through that left arm. Hold 10, 9, 8, 7. Squeeze that left glute. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Good. Replant. Hands right under the shoulders. That left arm reaches forward with my hands in that shape, and it's just on the floor. My right leg is reaching back, and on the exhale, we lift the arm and leg. Inhale to lower. 3, pulling that right shoulder blade down the back, pushing the floor away. My fingers are nice and spread. Last 5, 4, 3, core engaged, belly button pulling up towards the ceiling. Last one, hold, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a nice big wide child's pose. Sit it back. Beautiful. Deep breaths into the lower back. Back onto all fours. Feel free to do some of these if your wrists are getting tired. Hug the elbows in towards the body. This is the work for our triceps. We're gonna just come straight down from here, push up. What I'm not doing is going back with my hips. Otherwise, you're really not gonna feel it. So my core is engaged and I'm lowering down, exhale, push up. Lower down, exhale, push up. Again, wherever you're at, however far down you can go is totally fine. Keep the work through the back of the arms. Keep lengthening through the crown of the head. Keep the belly button pulling up and in. Inhale, lower. Exhale, left. 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one, we're going to come down halfway. Little pulses for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful. Sit back. Bring one arm across the chest, looking over the shoulder. Open the arms. Bring the other arm across, looking over the shoulder for a stretch. And bada bing, bada boom. Hope you feel great.